Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to another Chubs Gone Wild, episode 488. It is April 13th, 2023, and what a beautiful day out outside. It's 54 and partly cloudy outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, where it is 6 days until Easter, 211 until Halloween, and 266 days until Christmas. Tom, if you were shopping for anybody for Christmas, because I know you don't do presents anymore, would you have your presents done at this point?
Some,
Yeah.
not all.
You would have loved, if you still bought things for people, you would have loved Timu. I
Uh,
have already shopped for all of my Easter stuff on Timu.
so what's Timu?
Well, I don't know if it is part of Amazon or not, but it is being quote unquote, the Chinese Amazon, I guess. It's very, very cheap stuff. It takes about 2 weeks to get here. It is from overseas, and then but it's very just interesting little gadgety type, things like I got some amazing the clips that you put on paper, not paper clips. Don't start with me. These type of things.
Yeah.
So I got like 50 of these that are really good quality and different colors for like $2.
Oh,
Um, to where
great.
if you go to Amazon, they're like six or something. So
Okay, yeah, and whenever I've ordered something from China, it's taken 4 months to get.
yes, well, this is apparently something. See, this is why I don't know if they're actually from China, but that's what people are, you know.
Well, you'll know when they say, "Okay, it just left the
Yes,
rickshaw,"
yeah.
and yeah,
The 11-year-old who put together your package and
right.
yeah, exactly. But my mom was really, really into it, and she's like, "You gotta try it, you gotta try it." And I'm like, "No, I don't need junk." And then I went on there, and I'm like, oh, "Look, neat stuff." For those of you who are not watching the video, Tom is showing his titties right now.
I
They
wasn't
are
showing my
small
titties.
titties,
I
however.
was showing my neckline, my décolleté.
Oh, your necklace. You don't have your pearl necklace on.
I don't.
Sean, oh Sean, Tom needs his pearl necklace. What? Oh gosh, I was gonna show you something that I'll show you later. All right,
Uh,
hey, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And soon there may be more of the more. Anyway, we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, and DJ Sausage from the universe. Eric, Sean, Charles, Brother Sinatus, Felix Dave, Kingsley, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/slash Matt Burlingame if you would like to become a patron for as little as $1 a month. And it's coming in very handy this month because we have some domains that are for our shows that are coming up for renewal. So I want to thank you all for supporting us and making sure that we can still do all this fun stuff. Well, on April 3rd, 1860, the first Pony Express mail traveling by horse and rider relay teams simultaneously leaves St. Joseph, Missouri and Sacramento, California. 10 days later, on April 13th, the westbound rider and mail packet completed an approximately 1,800-mile journey and arrived in Sacramento, beating the eastbound packet arrival in St. Joseph by 2 days and setting a new standard for speedy mail delivery. Although ultimately short-lived and unprofitable, the Pony Express captivated America's imagination and helped win federal aid for a more economical overland postal system.
well, it was a good try, though.
Yes.
And also, it was Missouri was kind of a break in the middle of the when the train came in. So, you
Mhm.
know, yeah, because um, Yeah, that was the gateway to the West was St. Louis.
True.
So
But
so a
here,
lot of little places in Missouri tried to kick it off.
hmm, but you know what? Sacramento's always going to win. So, anyway,
Yeah,
today's
not
affirmation.
last night.
Well, I don't follow those things, but yeah. Today's affirmation, please take a moment, breathe in, love yourself, and then breathe out. I live a life of joy, unhindered by judgment. I accept all people as they are, including myself.
Well, and that's the reason why the Pony Express failed ultimately was because the train came in. How could you beat that?
Yeah, exactly. But you
So,
know, the thing about the Pony Express is that they lived a life of joy, unhindered by judgment.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, they just killed a lot of people on the way to and from the two locations, I guarantee
Yeah,
you.
that's uh,
I mean, I
can of worms
well,
opening.
yeah, believe me, I would have if I was
Those
uh,
worms aren't fresh
live
now.
in this mind and body at that time, I certainly would have waited for Promontory Point uh, the to finish the railroad so that I could take the
Hmm.
railroad to Sacramento and not take like a wagon train for over a 6 month period. Fuck that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Well, today we do have some holidays. Let's see if we celebrated any, shall we? It's American Circus Day. Did you go to the circus?
No, I did decided not to go to the drag queen bingo on Saturday.
Oh, we'll talk more about that circus later. Um, you went to the circus as a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I went twice,
We
maybe.
only went
I
we went
remember
once.
I remember the one time that I went and I got to sit on an elephant. And then of course, as we know now, those poor elephants.
Yeah,
So,
well, I went and see, I think this was when I want to say we were traveling Europe at the time,
hmm.
and we went to visit a circus that was where we were at. So I remember saying to my mother, I don't like the clowns. And she goes, why? They're just funny. And look, they're smiling. And I go, oh, they're not smiling. They're not smiling at all. I can tell. That's a painted on smile, just like a little drummer boy got. He got a painted on smile, just like the clowns. They're
uh,
not
yeah,
they're
I
not
no,
nice.
no, thank you.
And
Yeah,
and
you
after that, we didn't go to the circus anymore.
makes sense.
Well,
Yeah,
you only gonna go if you have kids, and if the kids are going, fuck this, don't take me to that circus.
right. No, I'm totally agree. I don't. I It's weird because when I was a kid, I didn't think much of it. But you know what? We're in a pause moment. You know when you have that one dog that just doesn't know when everything's done and they need to shut up now? That's one of my dogs. So
So you didn't care much about what was going on at the circus when you were a kid because you didn't know that there's cruelty going on. You didn't know that there was abuse going on.
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's oh God. Oh, okay. Like for instance, I went to this class, we'll
Hmm.
call it a class. And what they were doing was they were trying to make the people in the class realize where their food obsession came from.
Hmm.
What caused it? What toxic thing from your past created your eating habits of today?
Okay, I gotcha. And yes,
Okay.
I've been through
So the whole
those.
time I'm like, I'm doing the silent inside scream in my head
Uh-huh.
because they're going, so was your mom a good cook? Did she always have lots of food around and it was so good you couldn't help yourself? Is that who your mom was? Or maybe your mom was a terrible cook and she didn't cook, everything she cooked was kind of awful, and you looked forward to your school lunches because they cooked better than your mom did. Or maybe you were food absent as a child. And so as an older adult, all you can do is think about how I need food, I need to eat, and I need to eat, and that's how you became a fat person. Or
Mhm.
or was there abuse in the house? And I'm like,
Oh yeah,
okay,
when you get to that
obviously
point.
you want to blame mom and dad for everything that fucking
Mhm.
possibly could have happened. Okay, you know what? No. Okay, my mom cooked really well, and yeah, it tasted great. But you
Mhm.
know what? You can't blame these people for not knowing what they were feeding you, that that it wasn't good. They didn't know that back in those days. I was watching Perry Mason on HBO,
Mhm.
and one of the characters is going, she's talking to her daughter, Della Street's mom, and the mom, who's very rich, is going, our farm upstate, because they're in California, our
Uh,
farm upstate's doing studies saying that the food we eat um, can somehow um, cause the way our bodies react to things like nutrition, and it's so I think it's a lot of bullshit, but we'll see what they come up with. And that was 1930. So, and even in the 1930s, they didn't know what was good. I mean,
yeah,
in the 60s, uh, up until the late 60s, doctors were still suggesting cigarettes for relaxation.
right.
And it's and so how are you supposed to, you know, how can you go back and blame people for stuff that they didn't know what they were doing? I mean, half the people today don't know that they're not getting nutritious food.
Right. Well, and plus back then, especially, people were trying to get through a lot of times. They didn't have, money and resources and things like that. Great Depression. Oh, well, it's the Great Depression. So you're lucky there's something on the table.
Even
The
even even
fact that it's full of
even
sawdust.
right, even past that point, what I'm saying is that most people cooked with, instead of butter or oil, they used bacon fat or
Oh yeah,
lard, or tallow, some sort of meat fat to cook their food in. So it's like, shoot, why would I want to cook eggs in like butter that at that point probably didn't taste particularly like anything,
right.
um, when I can cook it up in some bacon fat that tastes great. And,
Hmm.
and it's just little things they didn't know, that freezing, how they weren't freezing vegetables correctly, they weren't canning them correctly. I mean, they were canning them and freezing them to last, but they definitely weren't cooking and canning them to be more nutritious.
Right. Yeah.
So all that stuff that was going on then, and it's just I'm so tired of having people, I mean, I'm not going to blame my parents for feeding me.
Hmm.
I mean, even the schools weren't giving you particularly nutritious meals. They were giving you cheap meals.
Yep.
So anyway, sorry.
Oh no, the one
Anywhere near
from
what we
those
were
from
talking
those
about?
yeah, exactly. From those classes though that you're talking
Yes.
about there, the one
Yes.
takeaway that I got was uh you do know that you're trying to kill yourself. That you're trying to kill yourself by eating yourself to death. And that's what they kept trying to reinforce with me. So that was lovely. I
Yeah.
hate myself so much, and something so traumatic happened to me that I can't deal with, that I'm trying to kill myself by eating myself to death suicidally.
Well, at least it's what a way to go, huh?
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, other people, they're doing it by, hanging themselves. You're getting that extra
Look,
piece
I
of
got a
chicken.
Twinkie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, uh, all right. We also, okay, that was about circuses.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where okay. Yeah.
So, also, it's Armenian Appreciation Day, so we must appreciate Vera Charles. Also, Find a Rainbow. Hmm, that'll be hard. Fish Fingers and Custard Day. Must be a Doctor Who reference. I don't know. It
Fish
sounds awful.
fingers and custard? No,
Yeah.
that sounds like something British. and
Well,
discussed.
yeah, well, yeah, because I remember the Matt Smith Doctor Who when he had to eat something when after he just transformed. It was he wanted fish fingers and custard, and I just thought, oh, that sounds so awful.
Oh, speaking of Doctor Who, guess who's going to be making a guest appearance on next season's Doctor Who?
Dave Tennant.
Let's just say someone directly from Broadway who just closed her run in Chicago.
Oh,
Jinx Monsoon.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I almost said Christian Gentleworth, but I'm like, she wasn't in Chicago.
Well, no, but
Wow.
she did do the music from Chicago with Jinx Monsoon after a one of the Friday night shows for the audience.
That is really, really cool. You know, Christina Wells, she played the Jinx, the role that Jinx did.
Yeah.
She played her, I think, before her, and she's a friend of Nephi's. So I've always followed her career. She's really, really good. But I
Uh,
love that Jinx is doing all this stuff. That's
well, I
great.
do
She
too.
was amazing on the
Well,
show.
she's really talented
Yeah.
and she's getting the opportunity to do things that I think that most average drag queens would not even
Hmm.
think about as possible things, as a thing to be able to go out and do. So that's what,
Yeah.
this just shows you that if you really don't put limitations on yourself, it's amazing what can happen. Because not only so she's just finished up Chicago, now she's going to go off for uh, probably a half a year doing the comedy show that I saw here in Sacramento back in, oh, what was it, November, October? It was October. So one of her start out places was Sacramento, and I'm thrilled for her because it's a whole stand-up show. It's not a musical show at all. And she's got so much talent. Who knows where she can go?
That's true. She might just take it in all sorts of different
Just
directions.
let's hope she stays out of Tennessee or yeah,
Uh,
Tennessee and West Virginia. Those are the two, not well, or Florida, not drag queen friendly places.
nope. Of course, one thing I thought was interesting was I went into Burlington this weekend, not the coat factory. Um, and
What's Burlington?
what?
What do you mean your name?
No, Burlington.
Oh,
It's the store over by the
that's
theater.
not the Coat Factory.
Nope, it's a whole different thing. Anyway, there was on the checkout, there was a rainbow bag with the big Mickey Mouse on it. So just showing that Disney's like, fuck you.
Oh, you did hear though that Mickey Mouse this year becomes public domain,
No.
but it's Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse,
Yeah.
not
Who wants
not
that little
Mickey
racist
Mouse.
piece of crap?
Not the current one. So last night on John Oliver, they have a Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse that is their new mascot.
All
I
right.
was waiting for him to go, oh, I think I'm gonna go shit my pants or something, just hilarious. But they kept it kind of light because it's not public domain yet. So they were teasing with it.
Yeah,
It was funny.
cool. All right. Well, we got some other days here. Free cone day.
Wait,
Good
which
name.
one?
Free cone.
Free phone day. Okay.
Cone. Like
Home.
ice cream cone.
Oh yeah, over at Ben and Jerry's, they're having that today.
Oh wow. Oh,
Yeah, where's the Ben and Jerry's? Fuck that.
yeah. Um, Good People Day. Well, we're here, so we're doing that. Holy Monday. Mm,
Well, at least it's Monday.
yeah. National Chocolate Mousse Day. Kind of did that yesterday. Don't go to work unless
Wait. You
it's
had chocolate
fun.
mousse yesterday, sort of?
Well, just that pie. It was kind of
Oh
mousse.
yeah, okay.
National Don't Go to Work Unless It's Fun Day. Well, here we are.
Nobody's at
Also,
work.
yeah.
Um,
World Party Weed Out Hate, Sow the Seeds of Greatness Day. I don't know if that's a pot reference or what.
No,
Also,
sow the seeds of what?
so weed out hate.
Right.
Sow the seeds of greatness day.
Oh, I don't think that's pot. I think
Okay.
that's let it all out.
Oh,
These are the
I love some Tears for Fears.
yeah, I know. They were really good.
Yeah. Tweed. Tweed Day. Also,
Yeah.
Pony Express, National Fun, National Film Score, and Pony Express and Sweet Potato. Did you have any sweet potato today?
Sweet potato, I did not. I'm not a fan of sweet potatoes. I don't like
I'm
them
not
because they're
either.
sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think putting him in the right position where I need something sweet, I
Yeah.
think that would work. But they say, oh, put in sweet potatoes instead of regular potatoes in like beef stew, and it's like, no, then it
Bro.
tastes.
Actually, it's interesting. Yesterday, I did have some sweet potatoes, some sweet potato fries that somebody ordered, and they gave me some of those. And they weren't bad, but as a general rule, I don't like sweet potatoes. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's because they might as well don't call them yams.
Right.
Sweet
Well, and those,
potatoes,
I guess, aren't those two different things?
they're basically two variations on the theme.
I guess.
So they're kind of the same thing, but they're not, but they taste the same, I guess, is the way it works. And one's harder and one's
Oh,
one's more of a baker, one's, you can do more things with. It's like the baker is because it's just so dense that you have to really I think that's the yam that you have to really cook the fuck out of it to
mm,
make it soft and edible. Where the sweet potato, you can pretty much do anything you can with a potato. I think
gotcha.
that's the way it is. But they taste the same.
Okay. I don't like either of them.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Oh, we got birthdays. Let's find out what birthdays we're celebrating. La la la, happy birthday.
Well,
Ah.
it's not Kathy Bacon's birthday. We have to wait another year for that. Or 9 months if we just go with the first quarter being Kathy Bacon first quarter.
Yeah.
So 9 months doesn't seem as far because you could have a child in 9 months, and that child would be Kathy Bacon's birthday quarter.
I'll have to start working on that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's happy birthday today to Jim, Robert, Shawnee, and oh, Debbie. I think she's a listener, but she is one of my friends on Facebook. Absolutely fun. She Pride 48er. Debbie. What else we got here? We got Kristara, Emmett. Emmett. Oh gosh, I forget what his podcast name is. I'm so sorry, but he's, I believe, part of the Univaz network and the Pride 48 network, and he does some amazing carol singing live on Facebook during Christmas time, which I always like to tune into. We have Declan, Felicia, Abby, Danny, Ant. Oh, we know Ant. Ant's a Pride 48er. And we got Alma, hmm, Monty, Jessica, Randy. I bet he is. Also, Alan, Kyle. Oh, Kyle, he is from the Gayish podcast. Send him some love. We got Joe. And of course, we have TJ, who is the owner of one of our local bars, who we absolutely adore. Absolutely adore. Such a cutie. Well, happy birthday to all of you. Oh, yeah, those were April.
Wait, where's
Zilpay.
Levi's birthday?
Oh, no, that's next show. And
No, but
he only wants half a day of celebration.
last year it's a whole month, maybe more.
Yeah, I
And
had to
now
force
he
the
just
whole
wants
month,
a half
right?
day. Okay, maybe he's getting older, and I know that birthdays.
Well, let's just say that he's hitting a milestone birthday, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
25. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you cut it in half. Um, but it's weird because I remember that my birthdays as a kid,
Mm,
because usually you had your birthday party on Saturday.
yeah.
But what happened with me was my birthday is the 18th of August, and my sister's birthday was the 19th of August, and
Oh,
my mother's was the 21st of August, and my niece's was the 22nd of August.
geez.
So I knew that if my birthday was on Saturday with my friends,
Mm.
I had another birthday the next day with all, with the other three members of the household or the family that's birthday was, that week. So it was always kind of nice because I got a little extra.
Yeah, my that's really fun, although it was always closed. Uh, my mom, my grandmother was June 15th. My mother's was the next day, and then my uncle's was 2 days later. So lots of Geminis in that little range there.
Sorry.
Yeah. Then there was me and my other uncle who were Scorpios.
Oh
So it
God,
was
what a nightmare. How
I
is it that you and your mother haven't tried to kill each other yet?
Oh, honey, trust me, there's been days where we've had many years of learning to figure each other out. So anyway. All right. Hey, we did have something coming in the feedback, and it was Sean who said South Park has really been on point this season. They can turn around episodes so quickly. It's one of the only shows that really looks at contemporary culture.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right. It's amazing that because I remember they had and this was years ago when they were up for Blame Canada for best song
Mm.
and they lost to um uh Phil Collins for the Tarzan song. And they actually had Phil Collins in the episode 3 days later with the Oscar shoved up his ass the whole episode. But I mean, that's what I'm talking. I mean, that is something, and it's not, I just don't think these guys are going, okay, we know we're going to lose this to Phil Collins. So put the Oscar up his ass and it's 3 weeks before. I think a lot of it is because I know that they've had stuff that happened. I mean, they are kind of like the cartoon version of Law and Order. If it's happened for real, they will be talking about it on the show.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, they had the kids working, changing the way child labor is looked at in this country, in Arkansas, and the next week they're talking about child labor laws in South Park, and so this week Mr. Garrison goes to he takes his husband to somewhere in South Carolina, I think it is, and the husband keeps going, but they have those places, and I thought you didn't need that anymore. And so the whole time we're thinking, oh, they like big bathhouse place or
Mm.
bookstores, it's dirty sex clubs. No, it turns out they're Mr. Garrison's run for 2024 for president, and because remember he won president, he was Trump, and
Okay.
so they see him and they drag him in and they go, rant for us. And he goes, I hate the Mexicans. And they're all like, yay.
Gee.
So, but it's really funny because Trump's out marching around again saying that he's running for 2024. So yes, they're amazing. They're amazing. It's almost like they've got a crystal ball and knows what's going to happen a week or two ahead of time.
Well, I think that's something with cartoon shows, because look at what happened with Simpsons and what was the other one?
No, the Simpsons were the big one. I mean, they had it years ahead of time.
Yeah,
I
exactly. But
mean,
it's like uncanny weird.
yeah, when Trump came down that escalator
Yeah.
and Homer came down the escalator right behind him, we
Uh,
all laughed. We didn't think that, oh God, what are we in for now?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's just funny things like that. But yes, uh, and South Park, it's so biting too. It's really, um,
Yeah, they don't really take prisoners on that show.
it's so satirical and they're so good at it, and that's why they are rich and famous people today. Because
They
who would have thought
are.
that South Park was going to survive? I didn't think it would ever survive. I thought it was just too, I mean, 8-year-olds. Oh
Yeah.
no, it's never going to work, and it
Yeah,
still.
I remember actually all the way, oh my gosh, it's been on for so many freaking years. I remember working weekends with my stepmother, and we would just sit there and watch that and roll laughing at the gay dog one and that. Of course, I haven't really seen the show in years, but I'm up on it because of you.
Yeah, well, it's on if you don't have cable and can't get Comedy Central, you can always get it on um HBO Max
Yeah,
with
nice.
the commercials.
Yeah. All right. So we have some chub hugs that we want to send out. One of my chub hugs is to Liz, my old pen pal who recently reached out to me and said that she has been listening to the show, and so I want to send her some love. So big chub hugs, and I know Tom has a few.
Well, as always, all of the favorites that we love. But that's weird. What is Tom's week? You have mine all listed. That's weird. Okay.
Because I'm
This
smart like that.
okay. Let's see. Not all of them though. Let's see. But the Ukraine folks, the people. I mean, we just had tornadoes in
Oh
Arkansas. You
yeah,
know, more death and destruction. Um, and here we are. I mean, California's flooding and
yeah.
uh, and they're ready to. But do you see next week? We're actually going to start a heat wave. It's going to be in the 80s next week.
Jeez. Well, it already felt like a heat wave this week. I mean, this morning practically, I was outside doing some work and I was getting
Bro,
heated.
it was 50 when you were outside.
Well, yes, but I'm fat. I generate heat. Shut up.
Okay. And then of course to chub hugs out to all of our listeners.
Yes.
Oh, and Moose, if your husband doesn't want to go to New York with you, I will. Okay.
Hmm. You preach. You tell him.
Well, I wouldn't mind, having it because I haven't been to New York in years, and they go usually at least once, if not twice a year. So
Yeah, I mean, he would know where all the good spots are.
good food, good shows.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, and now Tom wants oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Tom is we'll get to you in a moment. There was a few celebrity deaths actually. Starting with Paul O'Grady, who was 67. He was a British comedian, actor, and television host, known for his docuseries Paul O'Grady for the Love of Dogs. And Brian Briz Gillis, former LFO member who co-founded the group in 1995, passed away. But I didn't see any more details about that. And now Tom wants to talk to you about.
So let's see. This week, last night I watched the new Perry Mason episode, and they had said brief nudity. So I got my hopes up,
Oh,
and no, it was lesbian nudity.
oh,
But it was full. I mean, actually, we didn't see Bush, but we saw,
oh dear.
a lot of everything else. Um, let's see, on School Spirit, that's the HBO is Perry Mason, School Spirit on Paramount Plus, about the girl who she died at school. She's trying to figure out who killed her,
Oh,
and
right. Okay.
still we don't know anything, but um, they keep moving forward with more red herrings. So I think this is going to be, we'll have to wait till the end of the season for the close of this arc. Uh,
Hmm.
Now at the end of the season for Alaska Daily, Hillary Swank has decided she's going to stay in Alaska and continue as a writer on the Alaskan Daily if ABC deems that should happen.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
uh, but it had a good ending. So I just hope it's not the end because it's really good.
Hmm.
Uh, Also on South Park last night they had it was their spring break episode. So Mr. Garrison went to do the raving, but Stan's dad sent mom and that little bitch sister of Stan's
Oh,
um, off somewhere, and so dad decided to bring in hookers and drug dealers and have a big party for spring break, and then finally he just calls up his wife going, honey, can you come home? Okay, I need you. And she comes home, and there's there's things like blow up dolls and dildos everywhere and drug paraphernalia and hookers. And she comes in and he goes, I'm sorry, I ruined your trip. And she goes, well, it lasted longer than last year's did, so I guess that's a good thing. And but it was a fun episode. Survivor, this was interesting. One of the guys, uh, on the first day or two, he goes climbing on a rock and falls off the rock and just and knocks his shoulder out of whack. So
Yeah.
they put it back in for him, and they had him, watch it, but he wants to participate in the show. So, he was hurting all the time. So finally they said it's not getting any better, and you're going to make it worse the longer you stay here. And he's a hair cutter, so he does need to have both hands to work. So they got rid of him, and the team they're down to the last three members on the team, and they're just dwindling and terrible. It's just awful.
Mm.
Two of them have idols. One of them doesn't have an idol, and he thinks that the other two are going to vote one of the other two out, and he's the middle guy. But he's ultimately, if they pull their idols, he would be the one to go home.
Mm.
So he has no idol, even if they
Wait, which one?
Survivor.
Yeah, no, no. Which one has the idol? Which
The
guy are you talking about?
Are you watching the new
Yeah.
season?
Hmm.
Okay. It's on the team where are you current?
I think I'm one episode behind because what you're saying, I'm not sure.
Okay, I think his name is like Jojo or something, the big gay guy.
Oh, yes,
Hey,
yeah. It's not JoJo, but it's close. I can't remember it. I kept calling him JJ and then
Jim, something like
but
that.
Jam Jam.
Jam.
That
So,
was
and he's got that Carolyn chick who's a weird pain in the ass, and then the
uh
new guy that they got forced on last week's
she's
episode.
so weird because outwardly she looks like she should be talking kind of like this. And then she comes out, she's like this trucker chick.
Oh,
So
see, I think she sounds like she looks. So,
see, and I'm like, I don't know. She sounds, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. I like her in a crazy kind of way, but at the same time, it's just weird.
well, and as the three of them are sitting there trying to figure out how they're going to get this night through,
Yeah.
all of a sudden Jeff rolls in on the
Okay.
boat,
I'm current
and
on that. Yeah.
and they're going, why is Jeff here? And I wanted one of them to go, here, you going to give us a ride to Tribal so we don't have to walk all the way? And no one said anything because I wasn't there. Um, and so he comes up and he goes, well, so and so left, and so because so and so left, none of the three of you will be leaving tonight. And they're like, what? And they go, yeah, we're not going to Tribal. We already lost somebody. We got to fill so many episodes a season, so
Right.
you're all staying. And it's like, yay. And it was just kind of sad because the guy that left I really liked,
Mm.
because he's one of the other gay guys. um
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's multiples.
Yes. Oh, and I read an article that the NASA twink says he's not gay.
Okay,
At least he doesn't know it yet.
right. Let's see. No. Oh, we're waiting for RuPaul this week. They were down to four. They were so at the end they had two lip sync for their life, and it's like, oh, Shantae, you both stay, okay. And it's like, Rue hasn't had she hasn't gone into the end without a top four in forever.
Yeah.
That's just, and so they're all like going, what do you mean there's another episode? We're at the top four. She better not be fucking with us. And of course she was. So they went through a whole episode just to have no one go home.
Wow.
And so next week we have the clip show, which RuPaul's Drag Race clip show is better than most RuPaul Drag Race regular episodes, where every other thing it's crap. But
Right.
RuPaul has great clip shows.
Yeah.
RuPaul gives great clip.
Well,
So,
especially as she includes stuff from the behind the scenes that we don't get to see. The what do they call it? The
um,
other show, the chat
oh,
show.
Untucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then let's see, Masked Singers. It was the two that went home were Norm. He was playing Norm from Cheers. He was playing a moose, but I don't know
Oh,
if he's
moves.
I don't know if he's so frail or he's or the costume was too heavy, but he couldn't stand in it. He could stand up once they took the helmet off or
Yeah.
the headpiece off. So I felt bad, kind of bad for him because it looked uncomfortable, and he's got to be in his 70s, I don't know,
Yeah.
70s. And then the other one was somebody called Christina Quinn. And when I don't know who they are, I assume they're either wrestlers or YouTube stars. So
I don't
uh, this week on Ted Lasso, the new teammate shows up and he's making all the goals for
know.
everyone. It's like, oh, I'm gonna kick this. No, give it to so and so. They give it to so and so. He gets the goal. So they're actually winning games when they were considered to be the worst team on the thing. But nobody on the team is making any scoring except for this new guy that came in who's the big star. And it's like, if you get the ball, give it to him. He'll score, and he is. But half the people are like, yay, we're a winning team, and the others are like, I don't get to do anything. I walk around and do nothing. He said the best they were talking to him ahead of time. They go, so what do you think? This is the plan we have. He goes, well, this is the plan I have. And they show you know how they do the X's and O's type thing for when you're planning a sports thing, a sport attack.
Yeah.
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 So they've got the other team, and then they have him, and then back they have half the team, and then back behind them they have the other half of the team. But he's up there in the front, he'll handle everything.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And we do find out that one of the players is gay, and the news guy saw him at the end of the episode. So we're wondering if he's going to expose him and talk about, because there's not a lot of open gay sports people. So
Um,
here we go.
yep.
Uh, I finished History of the World Part 2. Um, it was a hit and miss thing, just like History of the World was. Uh,
Yeah.
but this one, the one I saw in the last episode was Typhoid Mary's YouTube cooking station.
Okay.
So she's on there and she's like going, okay, so we're gonna cook this today.
Oh my gosh.
She's coughing right on the food, right? And she's going, oh God damn it, now I gotta take a shit. So she goes and leaves, and then she comes back and goes, wait, I don't have any toilet paper. So she grabs some cabbage leaves
Oh.
with her hands, grabs some cabbage leaves, and then leaves, and then comes back and starts chopping the cabbage, and so this is how Typhoid Mary came around. So she's very unclean. I laughed a lot.
I
Um,
just
then they Top Chef we'll talk about. I did go see a comedian this week. His name was Anthony
Wiener.
Jeselnik.
Okay.
Um, and he was super funny.
Yeah.
The opening girl was Ariel Song, I think was her name. She was good. The girl in the middle, she did one of those with the high voices, and I don't know, is that funny? Yeah. One of those characters that you just it reminded. Remember the guy back during the Richard Belz? It wasn't Belzer. It was another guy. He looked around the same time as Richard Belzer. He was tall. He was dark haired, and he was kind of talk like this, and he talked about bad things and this and that. I can't remember his name, but she kind of had that kind
Was
of
he
feel.
bald?
What?
Was he
No,
bald?
no, maybe
Okay.
a little bit, maybe a little bit. Anyway, so she wasn't that great, but Anthony, he was really good. What he reminded me of was a very polished Brian.
Oh,
You
wow.
he goes, okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about transgender, and I don't want everyone to, block me out because I like transgender people. It's the pregnant women that I hate. I
Ah,
hate pregnant women. And he goes, okay, like for instance, how many times have you mentioned to some woman, wow, what are you in the eighth month, third quarter? What's going on? Third or the third trimester? And then find out that they were just fat.
ah,
So now I do this. I go, hey, let me buy you a drink. Oh, I can't, I'm pregnant. Oh, great. Sure you
uh,
let's find a drag queen that will, I mean, a transgender that will take my drink. And so that's why I hate pregnant women. And then they have children. They have those awful children. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like listening to Brian when we record.
yeah, it sounds like
So
it.
he was really, really funny. I laughed a lot. He was good. I went not knowing who he was. I was really
Yeah,
surprised.
you cry when Ryan does it. Huh. Anyway.
Okay. Let's see. Saw two movies this week. Knock on the Cabin. This is
Oh, yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan's new movie about a gay couple and their daughter who are vacationing in the wilderness in a lovely cabin in the middle of nowhere, we're
As you
assuming.
do.
And then these four people show up, um, and they are claiming that the family have to make the decision of one of them killing the other. So they either have to kill the child or one of the men have to kill each other. They can't kill themselves, but you have to make the sacrifice because if not, God's going to destroy the world. And they're like, okay, crazy people. Okay, no, we're not going to do that. And then it gets insane what goes on. It was, yeah, I
So
really
it's
enjoyed it.
basically like a church revival with
No, 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 no.
oh,
You'll see it. I mean, it's
no, I don't want to.
oh, it was good though. It was fun. Um, Although it does get it's weird because it's very graphic, but you never see any of the graphicness, if that makes sense. And then finally yesterday we saw John Wick 4.
Oh yeah, how was
Oh,
that? We just missed you.
yeah, 2 hours and 51 minutes, 53 minutes, I think
Holy
it is,
shit.
of the movie. And oddly enough, it still moves along really well because it's just one choreographed battle after another. And um
I heard that there were some people that actually had to leave the theater for short times because it was so graphic.
oh, quite possibly, but it wasn't that graphic. It really
Okay.
was. It was, I mean, sure, but uh, there's a new movie, the new movie coming out with God, I can't remember which one. We saw a preview for a movie coming out, and it was so graphic in the preview, I was shocked. I was shocked.
Yep.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was so graphic, and of course, it made me want to see. We saw quite a few previews that were going, oh, we want to see that. There's one where
Yeah.
they're going after it's the this is the best Nazi gets theirs comedy had come out in a long time, and it's like, oh, it's a
Oh,
comedy too. Oh, that sounds good. And
yeah.
then they had the one with Batman and the Flash.
Yeah,
And
you know what? I really want to see that, although I still have issues
but
with
it
the
has
whole
Sarah,
Ezra Miller thing, but I'll set it aside to watch it.
Aquafina in it. And
Yes.
that's what made me want to see the movie. I didn't want to see it because the Flash or grumpy Batman. I wanted to see it because Aquafina is hilarious. And
Oh, did you hear that Lady Gaga, they're doing a sequel to uh the Joker, like the more realistic, crazy Joker,
Right.
disturbing ass movie, and that Lady Gaga is coming on to play Harlequin.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah, I think she'll be if it is a good movie, if they do it right, she
Well,
will
I
be
mean,
phenomenal in that
Margot
role.
Robbie did a fine job with playing the role as well. And so
Oh yeah.
what bothers me most is that they still haven't gotten DC down. It has nothing to do with the characters. I mean, Joker, he won the Oscar,
Right. And I'll tell you, that movie was
both Jokers.
really, really well done. But oh my God, it was one of those movies I walked out of feeling shell shocked and like, I
Oh,
don't ever want to see that again.
me either. I agree with you on that one. That one was one that I just went, okay, I am done with that.
Yeah. So we'll see if, but if I'll see the sequel. Anyway.
Okay, so mutual.
Oh,
So
okay. Mutual starting with Night Court. You cut it?
no,
Okay. So episode 11 was a wedding episode, and everything went kind of crazy because it all became about, oh, girly, I want the dress and I want this and that and everything. And then, well, Dan was the star of that show. But I will say that they are finally deepening the characters enough that I'm looking forward to what's next. So I'm in. Let's
yeah,
do
I'm
this.
fine with it too.
Yeah. The Bachelor, which wow. So the finale of The Bachelor, the proposals, and well, Zach proposed. I don't know. Should we do spoilers on this one?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Okay,
been
so
done about
if you haven't watched this yet, whatever, it's been out for like a week or so.
a week
Uh,
today.
yeah, but okay, so anyway, starting my notes are Gabby's bullshit when she confronted Zach at the end because he
No,
chose he
she
chose
confronts him at the reunion show.
live audience thing.
Well,
Yeah,
live audience, yeah, but it's
yeah,
so that's where she confronts him, not during the
right.
episode.
Because he chose Katie.
Well, but
That's the spoiler alert. He chose Katie.
sure, but so she's there going, you know, I was turned into the narrative. No, what
Uh-huh.
happened was we saw you tell the camera, I'm going to fuck Zach, whether
Yeah.
he wants to or not. He's gonna love me, blah blah. And
Yep.
then you seduced him, and
Mhm.
then he told it on television, but it's not like we didn't know it happened,
Right, because
and
that's the
then
thing is that even if he had, yeah, yeah, yeah,
he
no,
told you in front of a camera that
right,
he had, that he was fine. You made him say how good he felt about having sex with you. Oh, thank you.
mhm.
No, I'm not blaming you or anything. No, it was a beautiful thing. You made him coddle your hypnotic vagina, and
Yes.
you thought that was going to work for you. That's
Yeah,
what happened. She thought that shit was going to work for her.
right,
And
and then she sat
she
there,
turned into the fucking victim. Fuck
right,
you. Gabby.
exactly, and that's what pissed me off is like when during the whole live show, and she's like, I was turned into a narrative, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean, but then she was right on the verge of saying that she was violated, that she's the victim in this. And
Oh
I
no,
got
she did right.
so annoyed because
She did everything but say that.
she point blank, yeah, exactly. But she point blank what on that show was like, well, we'll see about this no sex thing.
Yeah, and then she said, "I can't believe you told everyone. You told the world. You were
You're
there.
on
There was a
TV.
camera." The first thing you should have said if you didn't want that is, "I don't want you to tell everybody, and I'll say it right here on this camera. Do not put this out there. Do not send out that we had sex. You don't
Mhm.
tell anybody. I don't want this on film." And you know what? They probably wouldn't have put it on.
Probably not,
But she
but
was too
even though
busy
they
trying to
have
make
full
sure
disclosure,
that that the V of that she was trying to use as some sort of tool to drag him in. Oh no, I'm so sick
yeah.
of her.
Well, the one
And
thing
then
that I know,
Rachel shows up from The Bachelorette going, I understand how she feels. I'm defending Gabby. And it's like, of course you are, Rachel, you bitch.
she's such an idiot. And then the other where was my with my notes? The one thing I did agree with Gabby on is that Zach made the no sex decree unilaterally for like all four of them instead of kind of making the other girls like, they're just objects there for him to decide what to do with. And that part I did agree was disrespectful to all of them.
You see,
Uh,
I don't think that's a problem because this is Zach's show.
Well,
It's
see,
Zach to make Zach gets
that's
to
our
make the
narrative, but
rules.
that's discounting because that's what we do is the show makes us fall into these women are just there for him to decide who he wants to stick around in the end, and they're all like automatons, but they're not. They're actually real people. So he, I will say that it would have been better if he had said, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you guys think?" Although they probably all would have jumped his bones. So I mean, I
Yeah,
would have.
no, I don't agree with you on this. I
But
think
that's the thing is do you really want to go into a marriage being like, "Oh yes, I slept with all three of them and but I chose you."
well, that's why I wouldn't do the show, because if there's sex
Uh,
involved in there, I think that's wrong, because this show was made to be finding Mr. or Miss Right.
I
This
understand
was
that.
Cinderella. This is not Sleeping Whore Beauty.
But uh then but then they added the whole sex element to it because that's what they had to do to actually make the show be viable. People want to see that shit. And if you go on the show, you've got to expect, I mean, hell, most of them were like tonguing him on the first night when they met him.
Well, that's
So,
why I'm saying I have notes. She pulled it on herself. It
yeah,
was
but I don't think that she should, that she should be labeled a big slut because they slept together. It's just but
I
you
do.
had it on
No,
the
it
show
wasn't.
anyway.
No, she's not a big slut because they slept together. She's a big slut because she went against what he wanted, and she used her feminine wiles to make sure that Zach broke his promise to the other two girls.
Well,
It was
I
all
don't think that's slutty.
manipulation.
I think it's
She's
manipulative.
evil.
Oh,
Evil.
now come on. She's not evil. She's
She's
just
evil.
badly drawn.
Oh yeah,
Whatever the
we'll
say
watch.
is.
She's gonna,
Anyway, finishing my.
she's gonna be on Paradise Island,
Oh yeah.
and because it's more chance for her to be, manipulated by men
Oh,
and
she's just
blame
gonna get on
men.
there and cry about how Zach didn't. They're just going, "Oh, it was so
Well, and
horrible. What
Rachel,
happened to
because
you?" When
Rachel's
most of
gonna
them are
show up
just
this
like,
season,
"Whatever, slut."
so they can pal together and bitch about Zach. Fuck her.
Can't I? I would be very. I rarely say things like this, but I would be very happy if I really never saw Rachel again. She just rubbed me the wrong way so much. Anyway, my last notes on that was I was happy with the winner. I think that was I think that she was perfect for him. She was somebody that I had thought that it would be good to end up with in the beginning. So I was happy.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, yeah, you always know when they finally spend a lot of alone time together, they're like, maybe this isn't going to work. But no, I think it will. I think there'll be a success story.
I did like the fact that they said that they were going to get a house that had an outdoor shower.
I know, and that was funny. I do not mind the graphic showering scenes, especially when he had his chest hair. That was
Well, yeah,
very lovely.
but what I loved is Jesse, standing outside while they're
Uh,
filming him showering, and he's wearing, shorts.
yeah,
He's not showering; he's being hosed down,
rinsing off from
basically.
the
Yeah,
pool or
yes.
from the
So it
ocean.
was, yeah, it was just,
Um, the so we saw like 5 seconds of the beginning of The Bachelorette. I think Cherry's going to be great on that. So looking forward to that. Doesn't start until June though.
26th,
Yeah. When?
June 26th.
June. Okay. Uh, all right. Top Chef World All Stars episode 4. Are you caught up?
Yes,
Yeah. So three teams of three were pitted against each other in a stadium, and the last challenge was
soccer stadium.
oh yes. Well, football over there, soccer here, and I didn't like the whole team challenge thing against each other like that. I don't know.
Well, I don't like when you got the cute guy and he's got immunity, and the other two guys on your team are cute, and you don't want to lose them either.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I didn't mind who went home. She seemed a little kind of one note with some of her cooking anyway.
Those
But
she has too much smile gum. You know, she's one of the
oh,
ones where you see the gums like this. It's a pet peeve.
just means she's a very happy person. Anyway, the last challenge was peas, which is the national veggie in Britain, and I was just like, fucking peas. What are you gonna do with peas anyway? But there's so many cute chefs on this show. I just keep
Yeah,
looking at them all, going, "Oh, you
just
cook
keep
for me."
abusing the women.
What? Oh, well, some of those are pretty cool too. The one from Conga, the one from Africa,
Yeah,
she's fun. I
Congo.
mean, I would love to see more stuff from her. She's
Well,
pretty cool.
we should mention that during the episode, they had to get an EpiPen out to save her life because she was
Oh,
having a severe
that's
reaction to walnuts during
that's
the
right.
episode. And so they took her out and they're actually showing giving her an EpiPen while her team's being, raided over here.
Yeah.
And they're trying to keep her from dying, but the show must go on over here. So
Right. Well, and it's funny because she's like, "Okay, I can go back," and the medical person's like, "No, no, 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 you can't. You
and anyway, you guys won, so you don't have to go back and cook. Oh,
yeah."
we won! All right, yay! And I'm like,
And she can
okay,
barely talk.
she's feeling better now.
Okay, Spring Breaking Championship. I'm not caught up on.
I am, but that's okay.
Okay.
It's just another goofy, challenge. It's
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who left. I remember that I was fine with who left, and I can't remember who it was, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they finally got rid of the German lady last week. She was horrible,
Yeah.
and and I'm sure she's a good cook,
Mhm.
good chef, but is she really a baker?
Something that has really been bothering me when I'm watching this, because I've also been rewatching the first like six seasons, and the thing that bothers me is when they're cooking and then they come to their station and they try to turn out the thing from the pan or whatever, and everything's stuck in there, not turning loose. And I'm like, okay, two things about that. One, you're a baker. You should know like how to get the fucking thing out of the pan, like how to
Yeah.
make it not stick. Second of all, this is a cooking show. What kind of cooking show has pans that you damn well know are gonna stick? I think
Well,
they do it on purpose.
no, the thing is, all they have to do, if they have a problem with sticking pans, you
Mm.
get you can get oh God, they use them for cheesecake.
Plunger.
The little locked piece that
Oh
comes with
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah,
springform pan. You get a springform pan,
yeah.
and you just make sure you get a piece of parchment paper on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't stick to the bottom, and then the edges should come right off. I mean, whether it's Pam or butter or what, butter with a little flour over it. The
Yeah.
fact is, they shouldn't have that. Nothing should be sticking like
And
that.
that's why,
How
and
about
they,
the
and
cakes
even the
that?
pans look like they're non-stick. I don't get how they're constantly on every show. It's my
Uh,
cake's not coming out. I'm like, what the
well,
fuck is
that's
the matter
because
with
they're
you?
not. A lot of them aren't using cake pans. They're using the trays to make just little pieces of cake and
Yeah.
pound those bitches out. And that is takes a whole different style of cooking because they're all dry if you've noticed
Uh-huh.
because
Yep. Yeah.
instead of cooking a cake that comes out this thick, you got a cake that comes out this thick. So it's got
Right.
no time in the oven at all before you have to pull the fucker out. And they're
Right.
cooking it too long,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
then they're
Yeah,
using ingredients that are causing the stuff to stick.
I guess because like I seriously, there was a point there where I'm like, you're a fucking cooking show. Do you not have pans for them that won't do that? Or are you doing it on purpose? Like I still say that some of the older things like Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen stuff, that they had control of those ovens, and as soon as they put the stuff in, they turn them down or something so they wouldn't cook all the way. Um, and then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I wonder if they sometimes decide which judge is going to be like the bitchy, because it's usually always the same three judges. Which one's going to be the bitchy judge this season?
Or actually, I think it's more the day.
Yeah, probably. And I just
If
think
you
it's
notice,
funny when Nancy,
it's usually the older woman if they
Nancy,
don't have something that's if they don't use alcohol in their cake mixes.
yeah, but it's
And
just the way that she looks at him. She's like, "Honey, it's dry," but she cherry picks the people that she likes, and she's really nice to them every time. But there'll be one or two people that you can just tell that she doesn't like them because she's always so mean, even if they cook well.
well, if you notice, I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but Carla Hall, who's not on this show,
I
but
know.
when she is on the show, she has a tendency to pull for the other African American, especially
I have
women.
noticed that too, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't care about that because she's usually pretty nice to everybody. She tries to at least say something good, to whereas Nancy will just be like, you know, I wasn't getting any peach in this. It tasted like medicine and not tequila.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I do love the show. And I think they're pretty right on with what when it's time for somebody to go. I think they're pretty right on with it. They don't, you know, kind of cherry pick favorites most of the time. Um,
And
anyway,
I'm sure they wait for, okay, we need to get rid of this person. So the first time they fuck up, they're out.
exactly. And I like how they do keep they do keep the people that can cook well, but also have kind of a personality because they're probably grooming them for getting their own shows and stuff like that.
I do think
Just
that
my opinion.
these people have opportunities to move on from here if they want to,
Hmm.
because I watched TOC with Guy Fieri, the Tournament of Champions,
Uh-huh.
and what I like about Guy is that if you look at like Guy's grocery games, he brings back all the people that he's met on the road during his diners and drive-ins and dinettes.
Okay.
He's bringing these people. Some are professional, like big time cooks. Some are like home, not they're like you know people that you'd see at any little restaurant anywhere. So, but he brings them in and makes them into celebrity chefs. And
Hmm.
so on his show, the TLC, one of the chefs right now that's just tearing through is basically somebody who got their break on diners, came in and got their break again on guys, and then she won her way into this competition, and she's in the top 8 now of the of 36.
Wow.
So, and she beat out major people, major fucking people. So it's very exciting. So there's lots of opportunities for these people, especially if they're friends with Guy Fieri.
Mm, yeah.
I'm sure it's Guy and Bobby Flay. And if you know any of the
Oh
two,
yeah.
you know the two of them, you can get work.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Did you
I'm
watch
not
any
going
more?
to.
Huh?
I'm not going to watch any more Dance 100.
Okay. Good. I will take that out of the trailer right now. That was
Because what you
hopeless.
said tells me I don't need to watch anymore.
Yeah. Let's see. Spring Baking Champion. We did that one. Next in Fashion. Um, I did finish it. Have you finished this season?
I finished
Did
it before
yeah.
you started it.
Right. The only thing that I could say about this was one, I liked all three finalists. I thought they did a good job. Actually, I liked all the designers personally on this
Except for
show.
no, the girl who did the crayon um accessory the bullshit, she's gross. She had to go.
Okay.
She can go work for a children's wear.
Well, and that's the thing is that I said personally, I thought that they were all pretty cool people, but I did not like a lot of the design work that they did. Just awful. The three finalists, my favorite was May.
Yeah, me too.
I thought she put together a fabulous collection, a very wearable and sellable collection, not like a giant hand embracing somebody. I was like, the costumes or the costumes, the fashion that they put together for the Met Gala type thing,
Yeah.
that was all horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. I'm like, no one would wear that shit to the Met Gala. Anyway, the only thing that I could say was at least the bag guy, the guy that kept putting sleeping bags on people and calling it fashion. At least he didn't win. Although I liked him personally, I could not stand most of the shit that he did. It just seemed like, oh, I'm going to put sports and gangster wear on somebody, and then I'm going to put a giant sleeping bag that goes 10 feet behind them. And all the judges are like, oh my God, that's so innovative. I would so wear that. That's so fashionable. I'm like, where are you going to wear that? To a park so you can take a nap? Anyway, that's my opinion on that.
All right.
What do you think of the winner?
It was fine. I just I get why they like him. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to feel about a lot of these people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that he'll have a very good career. I don't appreciate a lot of the designs myself. So there you go.
Yeah.
Um, okay, animal control. You caught up on that?
Yes.
The one about the practical jokes. I think the practical jokes and the eaten peacock shit. I thought that was well, it was what it was. I didn't care for this episode that much. Although I did like Joel's character's more serious moments in it. I thought they did those well. But the practical joke stuff was just too over the top for me. So,
Okay. Yeah, I do too. I don't like practical jokes. I
right.
don't think they're funny. And so a lot of times they're either cruel or
Mhm.
they involve other people that get, they get stuck in your bullshit. No, no, I don't like that at all.
Exactly. I hate that. Don't drag me into your weird bullshit. That is what I ask for. So, yeah, and especially since these were animal control, or I mean, they brought in like cops and stuff like that. So, fucked up. All right, moving into my week, unless there's something I've forgotten. No? Okay. Um, so I went to Drag Queen Bingo, which was set up for the organization that I am a board member of. And oh, actually, our sponsor, Golden Rule Services. So we had a drag queen bingo, but it wasn't like our normal monthly drag queen bingo. This was like a big one at the bingo hall. And so it was there were about 200 people there. We were like 4 seats or something from 4 or 6 seats from selling out. And it was absolutely insane. I was, I don't know if I've had that much anxiety walking into something like that in a long time. It was nuts. I didn't understand anything that was going on. Every time we asked somebody, they like, what are we doing? What is this? It was like they just looked at you with this like, what do you mean what's going on? It's so simple. I'm like, there's an electronic thing here, there's paper things here, there's different paper things here, and then they're coming around trying to sell you these dollar cards and stuff. I had no idea. And the thing that and it was like $50 a ticket so to get in. So I'm like, I had to spend a lot of money to do this for my organization that I am, very proud of being here. But dear God, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So, um, and it took like the whole thing, the whole night with all the different games and the pausing, and they were having computer issues and people were like yelling, "You're going too fast" and stuff like that. It ended up being like 5 something hours that we were there. By the time I got home, I was in bed and asleep pretty quickly. So, but
Drinking?
no, no, they don't allow any alcohol or anything like that there. And their food, I have to say, I'm sorry to say this, I don't mean to diss them, but you had to wait half an hour in line to order the food. And then you had to wait at your table for them to bring you the food, which took another like 45 minutes. And then when you got it, It was not good. And there were some cookies our friend Clint had bought for us, 3 cookies. You took them out of the wrapper, and I'm telling you, you could throw it at somebody and probably knock them out. It was crazy. But the whole event, the people that knew what were going on had a blast. We had some good drag performances. It was hosted by our Kennedy Gallery owner. Just a really good time for that. And we ended up raising altogether about probably $12,000. So very, very, very successful and happy for that. But I will tell you, I was just confused as F. So, and I didn't win anything, but the woman that was next to me won $1,500. So she's pretty happy about that. Anyway, all right. As far as things that um, I watched How I Met Your Father, season 2, episode 9, and the show's getting better. This episode, this may have been actually one of their best. Neil Patrick Harris guest starred in it. And in this one, they are making the British guy and the best friend character. They're getting them to do like kind of crazy slapsticky type stuff, and it's working. They're actually fun. They're fun together. They play off each other very well.
Were
Um,
they shirtless?
yes,
Both?
yes. This
Okay.
time they were shirtless. They were both shirtless, and that was very nice as well. But yeah, it's fun. It's getting together, and the main theme of this one was the blonde chick, of course, was dating this much older guy, which they were making a big deal out of, and then come to find out that he may have been her father. Of course, you know it's not going to end up that way. But then, of course, they ended that because the whole thing was like, oh my God, you made out with my mother and did other things. I can't get over this. I can't unsee this. And then they were done with each other. So,
I forgot to tell you the husband of because it was I always forget his name. He was the king in Hamilton, and he was on Glee, and
oh,
Jeffrey
yes.
Joff. Wait,
Nope, nope. It'll come to me. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. It faded away again. It does have a J, and I will look that up. What about
James.
him?
Anyway, he plays one of the husbands. The other,
Jonathan Groff.
yes, the other one is the guy from that Call Me Cat ripoff, that British ripoff of Call Me Cat. Miranda, what is it?
Moran. What about him? You mean
He's the husband, the hot one.
really? Who played Lucifer? Tom Ellis.
What's Lucifer?
Lucifer on Netflix,
Oh,
six
I'm not.
seasons.
No, I'm talking about
Gorgeous nudity.
this is the cabin and the knock
Yeah.
on the cabin. Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
knock, knock at the cabin. Stars. Jonathan Groff and I don't see. No, I think you're lying to me.
no, that's what it said. They said it
Jonathan
was,
Groff and Ben Eldridge.
but it's. I swear it said that. Just a minute. I'm okay. I'm looking this up again.
Ben Eldridge. He was in. I don't see anything here. Yeah, King of Navern. Knocked the cat. I don't. No.
I could have sworn it. I knew that he was the guy in your show. Oh, Fleabag. He was in Fleabag, not Miranda.
Okay. Yeah, I
Same
haven't
thing.
seen Fleabag.
Same thing.
Ah, okay. We'll go with no, we'll yeah. All right.
That's my confusion. I apologize. But
No.
he's awfully cute too. So,
Yes.
but he was in Spoiler Alert, which is the ripoff of your book. Your book.
Last Romance. It's not
Yeah.
on. It's not
Oh,
on.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an old one. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. Okay. So that's show's getting better. Lopez versus Lopez. I didn't watch. Call Me Cat. So this was the season finale, and just as I said was going to happen, Kat and Max break up over stupid shit. I was just
Wasn't
like,
it the end of the
seriously?
season?
It is the end of the season, so of course they have to try to do this as a cliffhanger type thing to everyone. Oh no, are they going to break up for real? Or are they going whatever? I'm just so annoyed by that. They spend an entire season getting them together, and then one stupid thing. They don't even sit down and talk. They just whatever, stupid. Anyway, um, so there's that. Season ended. I started to watch the Night Agent on Netflix. It really reminds me kind of a British show called Bodyguard, which is also on Netflix. And
And oh wait, no, that's
no, no,
okay.
no, that's the American movie.
Right,
This
sorry.
other was a like a mini series. Anyway, I started to watch it. I'll probably finish it, but it just had it was so intense, and it was just too tense for me to watch at that point. It's very suspenseful, and the main agent is very cute, so there's that. Top Chef Masters season 1, episode 1. I watched it. It was okay. And then finally, I did get to go to the theater yesterday, and I saw Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. That's the Chris Pine movie, and it was really fun. It was one of those that, like, of the other movies that I've seen in the past few months that I've been a little disappointed in, this kind of made up for it. It was just one big adventure, and yeah, uh, I don't know what else to say about it. The title says it all. You get what you expect. You got your melee, you got your casters, you got your sorcerers and your magic, and it's very fun. So if you love all that stuff, definitely go see it. If you're like, oh, but back in the like late 80s, early 90s, Dungeons and Dragons movie was just horrible. Pipple. This is nothing like that. Anyway, so there's that. All right. Time for advice. This comes from Miss Manners. A few times a year, my in laws invite my wife and I to join them for a concert at a small local venue. They cover all the cost and dinner of the show, which can be very pricey. Before the band performer takes the stage, the host reminds the audience that filming and recording of any kind is strictly prohibited. And yet, at every concert, my in laws whip out their phones about halfway into the show and take several videos. Even if we lean over and whisper a reminder to them that filming isn't allowed, they smile and ignore us. This is a small, dimly lit venue, and I'm sure other tables nearby can see the glare of the phones lighting up. Yet, we've never had the venue host stop by to give the same reminder. Not only is the filming distracting to our own experience, but we feel highly embarrassed being associated with people who don't respect the rules. After we declined to join them at last week's concert, they sent us several videos that they took of the evening's event so we could see what we missed. My wife and I both cringed. We don't know what to say without feeling like we are shaming them.
Oh God.
Shame
I
them. I can't stand, I don't like people that do that because I am a rule type person when it comes to that. But because we did theater and shit, when we said no phones, no videos, no taking pictures, anything like that, we meant it. And there were
well,
reasons for it.
well, if you go to Vegas, there are no rules against videotaping the entire concerts.
Okay, that's cool. There are a
Oh,
lot of
it's not
venues.
cool. It's not cool because
Yep.
I got to watch the back of someone's cell phone the whole night while they're
Oh,
filming, the Michael Jackson concert or the Cher concert, or well, Michael Jackson show, not concert, but
right.
the Cher concert, any show, they're more than happy. Or even when I saw Willem at the downtown here with the drag queens, all I saw was this. All I saw was this the whole time. Oh, wow, that was a good show. It was a good show about Apple phones. Yeah, that's what it was. I don't go to those things anymore. If I can't see the show, I'm not going to go back.
Right.
And it's and everyone, they hold their hand up in the air. So even if you're far
Like
back
you
and
just don't
up,
care.
they're still blocking you. So no, they're taking all the joy out of shows. That's why it's, because theater mostly won't let you do that.
Yeah,
Uh, and
for
and
reasons.
I mean, but you can get away with it now at basically with any performers. They'll they don't care
Well, I
because
know. Yeah.
they think of it as good advertisement. And I'm my thing is you're never going to watch that again. You're just making sure that I don't get to see it the first time. Thanks a lot.
Mm,
And so, I don't like being
okay.
the guy that yells at everybody during shows, but I will if I have to.
Uh, I know you will. Yeah, if the venue doesn't really care if you take video or not, I will be a little bit more like whatever. But I don't like it. You're not supposed to do it. It is. I would have the same anxiety if I was with somebody that was doing that. And well, there you go.
I won't be back with them. Just that's what it's
Yeah.
coming down to. I'm not going to go again with
Because I
them.
just remember like when we would do shows that would have nudity and we would have to keep reminding people stop trying to take pictures of the actors naked with your phones. They're doing this for the art and the theater, not for you to, send their wieners all over history.
Well, except for the one guy in Naked Boy singing, and he wanted to get his picture taken. So
Oh yeah, yes, that's true. And
yeah,
some do it for that reason, but most of them are doing it for the fun and the art of it, not to, if you want your titillation, you got to come pay your $25 to see it.
yeah, we had 4 weeks of rehearsal, and opening night is the only night he shows up and is hard the entire time on stage.
Ah, it's funny. Well, at least the other one didn't piddle.
Well, that was just during rehearsals.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's see what Miss Manner said. Rather a tricky moral question. If your relatives are cheating, do you ignore it or turn them in? Miss Manners prefers to avoid such a painful decision. She knows you have tried to tell them not to break the rules, so let's try something stronger. Go with them next time, and as you enter the theater, ask the host within your in-laws hearing if taking videos is allowed, never mind how often you heard the announcement. When the reply is no, you say to the host in much quieter voice, they believe they can do it inconspicuously. You might want to see if you agree. Yes, the in laws will squeal, but you can say, I was only repeating what you have told me, that your filming doesn't bother anyone. I don't know if that's the.
No, that's just what a fun
Dynamite
evening that's
off
going to
your
be.
in-laws. Yeah,
Jesus. Can you imagine? And you're probably going out to dinner with them after the show. Fuck that. No.
yeah,
Keep your mouth quiet or you're not just going to go with them anymore. And that's what
yeah,
I would do. I would just find, and when they go, how come you don't want to go see this with us anymore? It's because you guys are on your phones the whole time. Yesterday for
yeah.
John Wick. Okay. I know that we're running late. Okay. It doesn't matter. John Wick.
Uh-huh.
Um, there were people on their phones.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand people getting up and going to the bathroom and stuff. I get that. But they were talking, they're doing like little talks. I don't mind if you're reacting like, the bad guy gets killed and everyone cheers. That's great.
Mm.
They weren't cheering for that. They were, just yakking.
Yeah.
And when we got there, the one guy's sitting in our seats and it's like, well, we have seat 4 and 5. Do you have tickets? And the guy goes, oh, okay, I'm gonna go sit over. And he goes to sit at where his seat was because they bought seats and brought him late and just assumed that he could take any seat they fucking wanted.
Yeah.
So we had to come in and ruin uh 2 and 3's, oh, they were nice and
Yep.
roomy over there with no one sitting between them. And here's, 6, 7, and 8 that oh well, we want our friend to sit with us and you're sitting in that seat. It's like already I'm in a bad mood.
Right. And I hate that shit too. It's like, sorry that your dumbass didn't, get the ticket on time, but go sit in your seat
Yeah,
and
we want to
stop
sit together
stop
too.
acting like I'm the bad guy when I did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, we bought our seats, our two seats. These are our two seats. These are not your two seats. If you have a problem with that, go sit down front and you can all sit together.
Yeah. So anyway, so let us know what you think about that. Send it to chubsgonewild@gmail.com. All right. Let's see. Hey Chubs, if any actor or actress could play you in a movie, who would it be?
It probably has to be Tom Hanks.
Hmm. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I'm tired of every time I get asked this question that everyone assumes I'm going to go through one of the John Goodman because he's known to be fat and oh we would do Chris Farley but he's dead and John Candy's dead and
Mhm. Uh-huh.
Louis Anderson's dead. Oh well, we're just running out of people that can play you now. It's like
Right. See, Louis Anderson would have been my pick, except he's dead. Um, I'm gonna say Matt Damon. I think he could do a good me. He just have to put on some weight for it.
and don't take off his shirt because he's covered in moles.
I love his little moles. I'd kiss each one of them. Oh,
Well, then you'd probably like oh God,
just stop.
what?
Just stop.
No, I know a woman with lots of moles that you'd
Oh,
like to.
lovely. It's not Matt Damon though.
No,
Are you, hey Chubbs, are you more of a morning person or a night person?
um, it's weird because I can be either.
Uh-huh.
Because when I was working, I was the guy that was up right away. No, I've never hit snooze except by accident.
Uh,
When I'm trying to turn off the alarm and
yeah.
I'm just kind of slapping at the phone. I don't lay there and assume it's snoozing. I've never done that. Um, I'm usually up and showered and in the car and in a good mood. And I get to work and everyone was like, "Oh God, why are you
Yeah.
so fucking happy?" But um, I do like. Lately, I've been going to bed early, but I do like being up late. I like the late night shows, and
Hmm.
um, I got that from my mom. She would stay up until 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning watching an old movie. Of course, she was smoking and drinking, which was, you know,
Hmm.
fine for that time period. Not fine, but it was.
Right.
And but it's always there's just that quiet time at night where there's no phones ringing. You don't hear anybody outside. It's everybody else is asleep. It's nice.
Yeah.
Of course,
No,
you get that at 6 p.m. So
yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. It basically, my mom goes to bed like hella early, like 3:30 usually. Um, but I don't get actually rest or like quiet until at least about 6 because usually Lawrence is getting home from sorry, Lori Dean is getting home from work about then, but the dogs, it's when the mail gets here, that's usually when the dogs finally shut up. Because other than that, every delivery truck noise, every neighbor that comes home, every dog that barks in the neighborhood, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's like I don't care. Shut up. But anyway, I can do both. I used to do the morning person when I worked at the newspaper. I had to be there hella early, and it was all good. But I love my nighttime because I just get to do what I want and hopefully be left alone. So, all right. Last up, of course, is what's in your lunchbox, and we have a lunchbox full of yumminess by Mr. Moose. Oh, let's see what Mr. Moose's yumminess has done this time.
I want his Chinese restaurant to be near us.
I know. Okay, so he got chicken, beef, and shrimp with mixed vegetables and a ginger brown sauce. It was good. It was good. Those are nice big shrimp.
Yeah.
Next up, we have hubby got a fish dish at the Asian restaurant today. Breaded fish, deep fried, and assorted of vegetables in a white sauce. He liked it. No.
It looks a little bland. It's just fish and with a white sauce.
I don't see to me, I don't know about that white sauce. It looks kind of gelatinous. Maybe
Well,
it's not,
it
but
is. Just
I don't
imagine it's a clear
uh,
gravy is all it is. So
see this that might be okay, but anything that has like Jello type stuff in it, I can't.
no, it's it's a thickener to get it done, and
Okay.
it's not Jello at all. It's just a thick. Think of it as
Clear
transparent.
gravy. Okay, gotcha. And then
Oh,
on heavy, I know this looks so good. On heavy weight training days, I'm especially hungry. Went to often frequented Chinese restaurant and had them make something not on the menu. They serve larger portions at dinner. I asked for a dinner portion and doubled the beef. Oh yeah, that would normally be served. The only vegetables I wanted were button mushrooms and snow peas, but I didn't want a lot of them, maybe half of what they would put in the dish. I wanted a half portion of brown sauce with lots of ginger. Ginger's the best. This is what I got, and even though it had more sauce than I expected, it was delicious. I ate everything. And let me tell you, you got to go over to our Facebook group, facebook.com/Chubs Gone Wild, and check out this plate because I would love that.
If they could make it into like a sheet that I could crawl into and then cover myself with, I would.
Yes, and then eat your way out in the morning.
No, no, I could just live there with my head on top of one of the little button mushrooms and pull over a piece of beef and oh, here's a little snow pea. Keep me.
See, I actually looking at that made me hungry. I am literally hungry right now just because of that. It's so good.
Well, it's a good thing that we're almost done because all we're going to be talking about now is golden. Oh my God, I can't.
Golden Rule Services, and they
Golden
want
Rule
you.
Services. They want you to know about an important tool to preventing and contracting HIV. It's called PrEP, and this is a
Yeah.
medication proven to be 99% efficient in preventing HIV infections. To learn more about PrEP, visit sacgrs.org. Now, if you don't know about PrEP and you're sexually active, get over here. I need to smack you.
Yeah, you should be on this shit. Even
If you are a gay man that is dating and not watching, well, if you're a gay man that's dating and having sex of any sort, condom or not, you should be on this stuff.
right, and I'll tell you something else. Even if you are a straight person out there, we love you and thank you for listening. But if you are sexually active with multiple partners, and especially if you're not using protection, but even if you are, you should be on this because one of the things that we're pushing right now is letting you know, I know you got a cute teddy bear there.
He
Uh,
was waving at you.
oh, and you got one on your arm too. See what I did there. But no, seriously, one of the things we're now is really pressing that women can take PrEP too, and it is super effective for them
That's
as well.
when.
Yeah.
I
So
thought
it
they couldn't.
what's that?
I thought they couldn't take PrEP yet.
No, no. Everybody. One of the things that we're really pushing now is that
Oh,
women should be on PrEP too, especially if they're sexually active with multiple partners, because it you know HIV
yeah.
it'll stop. So good.
So yeah, then there's no reason, and it's in most cases you're going to find it for free.
Yes, you'll get subsidies. Even if you have health insurance, they will figure out a way for you to get this. So, all right. Hey, find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books at justkisstheguy.com. And find all our links over at allmylinks.com/Chubs Gone Wild. And, oh, what's the other thing? Oh, that's right. You can give us a call at,
408 Chubs.
yeah.
I know who you are.
And now we're going to let you go so that we can go eat or drink or whatever we do. And we'll catch you next week. Bye.